I'm Daniel, the past life regressionist, and it's time to begin.
Lift off and the clock has started.
3, 2, 1. This is Timeless Spirituality. Enjoy Eternity Time.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Timeless Spirituality. This is the first episode in a new mini-series where I'm going to interview individuals regarding a death of a loved one and how it made an impact in their lives and how it shifted them on a new trajectory to basically find a different way in life. So I hope you guys enjoy this first of 3 new episodes before we get back to the Mirror of Time home series. And again, I just want to thank everyone for all of your support through this series. It's been something else for me to do this. So just thank you for all those who've reached out and just lent your words of support. And for everyone who's just out there listening, thank you. Just thank you guys. Thank you for being on this journey with me, and thank you. Also, make sure you guys listen to the end of the episode because there's going to be a little tag on from what you're going to hear today. And with all of that said, if you would like to book a regression with me to discover who, when, and where you have been throughout time, you can reach me on Instagram at The Past Life Regressionist or my website, thepastliferegressionist.com. And now, you know what time it is. Stacy, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm a little nervous, but I'm good.
I can't think of anything witty to say to that. Everything's going to be cool.
All right. Sounds great.
All right. You ready for the first question?
Yes.
All right. My hands are going up.
Okay.
What's your favorite song about time and why?
Ooh, okay. I have 2 of them. And
Ooh.
One I was going to say, but I think it's too easy for you. So I have another one that's a little more, I think it's obscure. So it's called It's a Great Day to Be Alive by Travis Tritt.
I've never heard that one before.
Okay. Do you still guess the year?
Oh, I mean, I've never heard of
You
the
have no
song.
idea.
And I have no idea who Travis Tritt is. That a country song?
Yeah.
Yeah, no idea.
Okay. Do you want my other one?
Sure.
Okay. It's Love Shack by B-52s.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's oh man, was that 88 or 89?
89, you got it.
89? Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, I'll put my hands down now. Let's talk about, you said Travis Tritt?
Mm-hmm.
So why is that your favorite, or what one of your favorite 2 songs about time?
That song reminds me of my brother a lot. So there was a time where we couldn't talk or we couldn't see each other. And so it connects me to him. But it also just talks about like just being in the present moment. Like it's a great day to be alive. And although we have our like shadow phases, there's always an upside to that. You can always find, the good in that.
I like that.
Thanks.
And how about Love Shack?
Ugh, that just makes me so happy, that song. It brings me back to being a little kid and going on road trips to like Yosemite and stuff like that. And so now I still listen to it and I just dance because it's so fun. So it just brings me to a happy place. So a happy place in time from being a kid and still now, yeah.
Great music video too.
Yeah, it's a little wacky, but yeah.
All right, you ready for the second hardest question I'm going to ask you today?
Okay. Bring it on.
What do you believe in?
Yeah, that is a hard question. I believe in a lot of things. I believe in myself. I believe in the people that I love. I believe the universe works for us. And I believe that we are all connected. So that means whether we're here on earth or in the, in the spirit world, like we're all connected. So I believe that that our reality can be a beautiful place to be if we let it.
Ready for the most difficult question I'm going to ask you?
Sure.
Who is Stacy?
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that one is harder than the last one. So yeah, like we talked about in the pre-show, I am becoming. So I'm a person who likes to grow. I'm a person who changes every day. And my labels, I'm a spiritual medium, I'm an end-of-life doula, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, but mostly I'm me. And so I'm just still figuring out what that looks like. And I hope I continue to figure out what that looks like every day. Like stepping more and more into myself and letting my soul grow.
I'm going to jump in and try the new segment.
Okay.
So the segment is, how have you grown? And in this little baggie that I'm holding up right now, I have 4 different options, 4 different pieces of paper, and I'm going to pull one of them out. Okay. And, well, you know what? I'll guinea pig it with you.
Yes, let's go
for it.
Should
I tell you what the options are, or should I just pull one out first?
Just pull one out. Whatever happens, happens. It's funny to watch you pick one.
Oh, this is going to be the most difficult out of the 4 options.
Okay.
How have you grown in the last day?
Ooh. Okay. Actually, I have grown today.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I had a session this morning, and I don't ever give out personal details, but it was really beautiful. And I channeled Mother Earth, which was really cool. It was just so like expansive, and it just validated everything that I feel already of us being all connected. Just the love that we can have for one another and the love that we can receive if we allow it. So I guess that's the biggest thing that I learned today is letting ourselves receive love, because you have to be really vulnerable to be able to receive love. And I don't think we always think about it that way. It's easy to keep a little bit of a wall up, but the more vulnerable we are, the more love we can allow in from many different places.
What does that mean to you with regards to vulnerability?
Being authentic, so just being yourself and allowing yourself to, I guess, experience whatever is going to come up without any of the barriers, without the pain. And if pain does come up, just kind of like going with it, just whatever's coming up. It goes back to what you were saying about presence, being in the present moment, just allowing whatever's going to come up with open arms, and just accepting what is and what can you learn from it, and seeing the beauty in those moments.
Why do you think it was the earth that delivered that message? Or let me rephrase that. Why do you think that was the message that earth decided to deliver to you and the person you did the reading for today?
Because that person has, from what I could feel, she was like yearning to make a connection, and she has a connection with, her spirit team, and she was looking for something deeper. She wanted to be held. And so going into nature and putting her feet on the earth, being a part of something is meaningful to her. So I guess it doesn't really, yes, I believe that that's what I channeled, but I'm not asking anybody else to believe that. Like for her, that is meaningful, and that, that was healing to her. So to me, that's what counts, is that she feels held, she feels supported.
I agree with you. At the end of the day, I think that's all that really matters. Mm-hmm. Is if someone decides to live their life and I don't know if it's subjective necessarily, but in a more positive way, based off of what's delivered. So if it's the earth or something else or nothing at all, I don't see a problem with it. If it's helping you become a better person and it's not hurting anyone else.
Right. Yeah, we all have our own path to walk, right? And that looks different for everyone because we all have different experiences and we all have a different perspective, that's been shaped by our experiences and everything. So to me, there is no right or wrong way. As long as it feels right to you and you're not hurting anybody else, then, you just kind of go with what you feel. And that's why I think that spirituality is so expansive and so cool because it's so personal to every single person.
Yeah, I agree. And just for the record, I don't know if it was the earth that was talking through you, but I believe it's possible.
Yeah.
So
I probably wouldn't have believed that either. But, when it happened, I was like, this, I get confirmation in my body. I was like, this just feels so right. Like, so for me, yeah. But I understand what you are saying too, But I think anything's possible. And I think that because I've experienced it. So again, there goes my perspective based on my own experiences.
Right. And that's really all you can base it off of.
Right. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I totally believe it's possible. All right. Are you ready to dive in to why we're here today?
Yes.
All right. So, death is the theme of this portion of the miniseries that I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And we're here to talk about how a death has acted as a catalyst for you to find meaning and purpose in your life.
Right.
So I would like to just hand the mic and floor over to you to share your story.
Okay.
So Stacy, what you got?
All right. So I know every, death is personal to each person, their story and how they perceive it. So for me, I enjoy talking about it, although it's hard. The person that died for me his name is Nestor, and he was my sister's boyfriend for 4 years. And he lived at my dad's house with their family. I was already, moved out with my own family, but we saw him multiple times a week. So he became like my brother. So he's someone that, was always really special to me. He would make funny, like, little jokes about me being a white girl and loving pumpkin spice lattes. So this time of year, definitely he would send me little funny things like that. And he is a super artistic person. He taught our dog how to sing when he played the harmonica. He's just super fun to be around. And my sister, like, to me, it felt abruptly broke up with him and told him, he needed to move out. Like, she wasn't happy in their relationship anymore. And to me, it felt very abrupt that he was just out. And so I tried to maintain a relationship with him, and she got upset. And because she felt like it was a betrayal to her, which I understood. So I respected that and didn't talk to him. And that was really hard to not talk to him. So the last time I had contact with him, we were at a soccer game for my daughter that was close to where he lived. And he saw that on Facebook, that's where I was. And so he texted me and he's like, hey, I'm at work, but if you'd like to come by, I'd love to see you guys. And I didn't go because I felt guilty about, betraying my sister, and I didn't want to hurt her. And a couple weeks later, we found out that he took his own life. And so, that it was really hard. It was a hard time. My whole family was close to him, and I have other siblings too that were also close to him. So I never asked how he died because I didn't want to know. Just trying to help get through it and help my daughter. She was super close with him too. It was a hard time. And a little bit later, maybe a year or two later, I started realizing that I had mediumship abilities. And it was really scary at first because I hadn't done any work on myself. So I was attracting a whole bunch of like lower energy stuff. And it was really scary. So there was stuff that would come in, and I felt like I knew that I was being put through like this kind of boot camp with spirit, but I was like, I feel like I have no control. I feel like I'm just scared all the time, and I didn't like living that way. So Nestor, I could start to feel him around me. He would put his arm around me when I would get scared and, just be like brotherly, like super sweet, like he was when he was here. So it was really comforting to have him there. And one day, didn't tell me, but I knew that I knew that I had been like advancing a little bit more in my boot camp thing. And so he made me physically feel how he died. And that was really hard. And I was like, okay, I get it. You know, in my head, I'm saying this like, okay, I get it. And then it stopped. Like I understood how he died, and that's what he was trying to get across for me. But he also was trying to get across to me that I had control. Like I could determine if that is something that I wanted or not. So he helped me learn how to set a boundary. And that's something that I'm really thankful to him for, because since then I have had spirits that have tried to make me feel the same thing, and I know how to stop it. I know how to tell them, I don't need to feel it that way. Like, you can come to me in a different way. And I'm not happy that that happened, that I had to experience that, but I'm happy that it was him, because I felt safe with him. And he respected me when I told him that was enough, that I understood what he was trying to teach me. Since then, he's back to his like old Nestor self, where he, you know, tries to play like little jokes on me, and at work he'll call, and I know it's him because it says out of area private caller, which I think is hilarious. So he's taught me a lot, and he's, anytime that I need encouragement, he's always there with me, and he's always the first one, you know, to put his arm around me and make me feel like secure, and, you know, kind of like, you know, a little soft punch to the chin, like, you got this, you know, keep going, you got this. So,
how are you feeling right now?
all over the place, but mostly just, I feel like gratitude. You know, I feel really grateful to be where I am right now, and that he got to be a part of that, and that he is actively a part of it.
Well, I'm glad he's still there with you.
Yeah, me too. It's pretty amazing. Like, I mean, it was great to even just know him when he was here. And, you know, he was always someone that was really special, because he knew what it was like to not have the best home life. And so he valued people on a really deep level. So I mean, I think we all have, you know, people in our lives that just make us feel so loved and so special. And he did that for so many people around him, because he knew what it felt like to not feel that way. And he has 2 younger sisters, and he always, you know, did whatever he could to help them feel loved and protected and safe. And so you know, he's just someone who's so like giving to people and loves on a very deep level. And I think that's a special quality to have.
It's a rare quality.
For sure. Yeah.
I think you mentioned was it 2 years later?
Something like that. Yeah. I don't know exact time frames, but yeah, something like a significant amount of time like that. Yeah.
So how do you feel that his passing served as the catalyst for it?
I think that I already believed, you know, in afterlife. I didn't know necessarily what I thought that looked like, but I already believed in afterlife and reincarnation, and that spirits could show us signs and things like that. So I already believed in that. And so it was really comforting when he passed to think like, okay, he's over there, he's watching over us, you know, he can still see us, we can still connect with him. But I kind of just thought of it as like, I can talk to him on my own, and, you know, hopefully he'll hear me, and, you know, maybe he'll send me a sign every now and then or something like that. But I think his passing really like opened the door for me to be more open to spirits, you know, just because I wanted that connection with him. And I guess it made it so that I could, since I was so open with him, I could be open with other spirits too, right? Why would it just be one person that you could connect with? So for me, I feel like he kind of paved the way for that, and that he was like championing me pretty early on, you know, for me to feel comfortable and to feel safe. And, you know, when things were happening around me and I didn't understand, I still knew that he was there. So I didn't need to realize that I had like gifts as a medium to realize that he was there.
It boggles my mind the way that things work out and how our lives shift in certain directions based off of events that happen.
Yeah.
And I think that that's beautiful, that at the core of it, you were open to him being there, even though he wasn't here physically.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm understanding correctly.
Yeah.
I think that
sure.
that's really cool.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess this is just, my own perspective, but, I think a lot of people want to believe, right? Because you don't want to think about yourself losing that connection with somebody that you love so much. So we want to believe. And so just by wanting to believe, you're opening that door, whether you realize it or not. I believe we can all connect to our own loved ones, that we have that ability and that they're there to show us that they're okay and that they love us and, in their own way. And we all have to interpret it in a way that feels right to us. But I know this might be controversial, but to me, there's so much beauty in death and in grief. We see it in our society as something that is permanent and that is so, like, we just don't talk about it. It's so taboo. We don't know what to say when somebody dies. We don't know what to say to somebody else. Really, we don't have to say much. We just have to be there with them. Just sitting next to somebody that's grieving and sitting in that energy with them, in that heaviness with them, lightens their load a little bit. You don't have to come up with the right thing to say. You just have to be there. And I think that's something that we don't talk about enough, that we don't think about enough, because we are uncomfortable. So we're just trying to, put a Band-Aid on it. Like, oh, everything happens for a reason. Or, nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that when they're grieving. They want to know that they have somebody to lean on when they're grieving. And yeah, I just think that there's so much opportunity for connection with grief. Even if we haven't lost someone, we know what it's like to grieve a divorce, or maybe we didn't get that job that we wanted and we feel grief, or, it could be a million different things. We all grieve for different reasons. And so that can be something that unites us, that connects us. There is beauty in that. And so I think if we just looked at it in a much broader sense, we could just be a better society.
I agree. I have a question.
Yes.
You mentioned that, I think it was part of your boot camp, that he gave you the sensations that he was feeling as he passed to, because I think you had said that you didn't want to know how he passed, but then he gave you the sensation. You then became aware of it at that time.
Yes.
Right?
Very, very aware. Yes.
And then you learned how to make the decision whether or not you wanted to cut that feeling off if something else was giving it to you.
Yeah. So I learned that I could, first of all, that I can control it. So if he, like how he was doing that, and I was telling him like, okay, I get it. And so I learned that, okay, I don't have to feel those physical sensations. And I've been tested on that a couple times since then. And it does work with other spirits too. So I am thankful that he taught me that. But I can tell them, like, I don't even need to tell them that I don't want to feel it. I've learned that you can ask for what you want. Spirit works for you, basically. Not to be rude, because I love spirit, but they work for you. They need you as much as you need them. And at first I did not think that. So now they just, I don't, like, if I need to know that information, which a lot of times I don't need to know that information, but if I do need to know it, it's just a knowing. So they'll just give it to me without me having to do anything. I don't need to feel it physically. I don't need to see it unless it's something that is important to what the message is.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question about understanding without feeling, or feeling it and then understanding, because I've encountered people who have had questions regarding someone's death and wondering how someone went. So I was just wondering if you've encountered that, where someone's had that curiosity and then you've either allowed it to come in or shut it off.
Yeah,
Or
for
it sounds
sure.
like you don't even need to at this point. You just kind of understand it without having to feel it.
Yeah, which is great to be at this point.
Yeah.
It's great to be here instead of, yeah, feeling it. So there's one, again, I don't want to go into detail, but there's someone that passed and they made me feel really dizzy. And so I was like, okay, I knew that was an important part of what the message was. And it did end up being an important part. And then there was another girl, this is like during my boot camp phase, where she died in a car accident. And honestly, this sounds so awful, but when I would drive to work, I passed a cemetery and I would say hi to them and like wish them a good day. It sounds so weird. But I swear I like attracted a spirit. And so when I got to work, I just felt like this crazy chaotic energy and I was like trying to make sense of it. Like, what is going on? I just felt like this person like doing circles around me. And I was like, okay, I can't even like read this energy because it's so chaotic. So I just like breathed and, like felt into it a little bit more. And I was like, oh, okay, it's a girl. I could feel that it was a teenage girl and her hair was like crazy and she was frantic because she was trying to figure out where she was. And she didn't know that she had died. And so she was, I was trying to get her to just listen for a minute. And so I told her, and she was really upset. She was upset at herself because of the way that she died. And she died in a car accident because she was on her phone texting. And she ended up rolling her car. She was the only car, so she didn't hit anybody. And it took her about 20 minutes to die. And so she made me feel every pain. And this is after Nestor showed me. So I would tell her like, okay, I don't need to feel it. Can you ease off a little bit? And she'd be like, yeah, sorry. And then she would get mad at the situation and then she would ramp back up. And I'd have to keep like reminding her, please stop. I don't need to feel it. But I ended up being able, it took a couple days, but I ended up being able to help her see that she could help her family from the other side. Like she had been stuck. I didn't realize this because she didn't tell me, but because I knew where the cemetery was where I passed, I was able to look up to the facts that I knew and find her. And I was like, oh, that is her when I saw the picture. So it was really cool. So I was able to tell, to show her like, it's okay to go to the other side. You'll be able to help your family. They'll be able to get messages from you. You don't have to be stuck here. But she had been stuck there for 4 years. And so their time is so different than our time. But I'm like, I can't even imagine 4 years of feeling like so chaotic and not knowing what happened to you. So she ended up being thankful that she was able to cross to the other side.
But you did a good thing.
Well, thanks. It just felt, I'm like, I don't really want you around here anymore. Like she was super sweet, but she just had she was intense. And it was very teenagery, like throwing fits, kind of. Like she even physically, I don't even know how she did it, but she was so mad that she was knocking stuff off the shelves. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, still not necessarily my forte, that realm, but the way I see it is maybe someone else would have come and helped her move along or come to the awareness of the state that she was in. Yeah. But it was you. So if it hadn't been you, it would have happened later with someone else.
For sure.
You did a good thing.
Thanks. Yeah. I would hope. Yeah. I know that there's lots of different people that have abilities, different mediums and can do different things. And so, yeah, I definitely think somebody would have helped her. And yeah, it just happened to be me.
That's one of those things I wonder about with regards to people and abilities. Mm-hmm. I could say that it's becoming more and more prevalent in my sphere. But then I also wonder, is it just the echo chamber that I'm in and that I just happen to be in a space where there are a lot of people with those kinds of abilities who are naturally attracted to that? But then the flip side of it is, even in my own personal life, there have been people who I've known for years. And once I started to be more public as a past life regressionist, they would then start sharing some of their paranormal experiences with me as if I'm saying, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I had no idea. I'm a past life regressionist. I deal with people's past lives, not with ghosts, but now they're here, not there right now.
But sorry, but one thing maybe you don't realize this is that you attract healers because you are a healer. Like maybe you don't like that term, but that's why you're saying, you have people on your podcast and in your life, they're coming to you because you can relate, even if it's not the exact same experiences. It's all the same work.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's one of those things where I wonder if it is truly becoming more prevalent out there, or if it's just because of the position that I'm in and that I happen to attract that. You know what I'm with?
Yeah.
From all
Probably
appearances.
Both.
Right. Yeah. That's what all appearances to me, it seems this is becoming more prevalent. But so there's a lot of closeted spiritual people out there, people with closeted abilities.
Yeah.
Where, I mean, it's like, I met people in certain industries where you'd be like, oh, there's no way this person.
Right. Yeah.
And lo and behold, I'm like, damn. Like,
yeah.
You got abilities.
It's hard to put yourself out there like that, because you're opening yourself up for, just your own self-judgment, but then judgment from other people. And there also are people that are not true, to what they're saying that they can do. And so, it makes it harder. But even just like, I have a very accepting family, but even in my family, I was like, okay, how do I just say this, and people are like, yeah, like it wasn't a shock. I was like, okay, it's a shock to me. How come nobody else thinks it's, shocking?
Were you at a family dinner or something and everyone got quiet and then you just kind of looked around the table and blurted out like, I talk to dead people.
Exactly like that. Yes.
And then all their eyes like looked at you.
They're just like, yeah.
Did I say that out loud? Was it like that?
Yeah, exactly like that.
Really?
No.
I have a question about something else you mentioned earlier.
Okay.
I think you had mentioned that when these abilities came online, that you were attracting some lower energies because you hadn't done the work on yourself yet. Mm-hmm. When you said hadn't done the work on yourself, what did you mean by that?
Ooh, that actually might be the hardest question you've asked me because I honestly didn't love myself. I didn't feel worthy of anything, really. And so they were easily attracted to that. It's easy to kind of, this is the wrong word, but this is the only word that's coming to me, is like prey upon energy of just loathing, pretty much. So the part of the boot camp wasn't just, me learning how to navigate spirits. It was learning how to navigate my own darkness, sitting in that darkness and meeting myself where I was at and trying to do it without judgment, which is way harder than it sounds. And because that's all I had for myself was judgment. So it was learning how to accept myself, to love myself. And there's lots of layers that go into that. And then getting to that point where you can actually trust yourself. And so for me, that took a long time. That took another couple years to be able to do that. And I didn't see myself as an intuitive person or a spiritual person even. All I saw was the bad in myself. So again, one day when I was at work, I was listening to a podcast because I love podcasts. It was about this lady that was channeling, and she was channeling like the Council of Eight, I think it was, or something like that. And the message that came through was, there's nothing that you can do that will take you off your path. Like, you chose to be here. You chose the body that you would be in. You chose your personality. You chose all that stuff, right?
Sorry, no one saw me rolling my eyes right now.
Yeah. And there's nothing you could do to veer off your path. So whatever is meant for you will find you. And yes, I understand how cheesy that sounds. But for me, that was the first time that I was like, oh my God, I can take a load off now. Like, it took so many burdens away. It felt so right for me. So I was like, I chose this. I chose to be myself. I chose this personality. I chose this body. I chose where, all of this stuff. And so for me, that was so liberating. And this, again, sounds dumb, but I was looking, there's a paper towel holder right next to me, and I looked at myself for the first time, like in the eyes, and I saw my soul. Like, I just felt like I saw myself, and it was like the most like mind-blowing feeling ever, where I was like, okay, all right, we can do this. Like, I was the first piece to my like self-love and to, working on myself, where I felt like I actually made a breakthrough, and it just came through so like organically.
I mean, I think that that's beautiful. And my eye roll comes from a place of, I think that message really is dependent of who's hearing it in the eye of the beholder.
For sure.
Because spiritual gifts don't necessarily equate to integrity.
Yeah.
And spiritual gifts don't necessarily equate to someone who is advanced or something of that nature. And I think that that's something that gets lost on a lot of people. Is I've encountered people in this space who, just because they have gifts doesn't mean that they should be flaunting them. It can be dangerous. And my eye roll comes from the place of, when I hear that statement, I put myself in the shoes of other people, where all I hear is, I can do no wrong. I can cause no harm. There is nothing that will deviate me from my path, because if I hurt someone, that was all part of the plan. So I don't get that. I could be slightly cynical. So, but that's like, that sounds so fucking fluffy. And
it is. And
but it's
that's
like
part of the reason why I love it. Like, honestly.
But there's something to it though, at the same time, because it got you to look at the paper towel holder and look yourself in the eye. And I get what you mean by that, because it was the thing that you had readily available to give you some kind of reflection.
Right.
So it doesn't need to be a fucking mirror.
No.
Like,
it just was right
Excuse
there.
my French there. Sorry.
No. You don't need to worry about that. I haven't dropped any F-bombs yet, but I'm sure they're coming.
What's it going to take?
Not much. It doesn't take much. Yeah, I totally get that. And I appreciate that there's, other perspectives, because I don't want to be one of those people, like how you were saying, that there are people who are not using it with integrity. And that makes my job even harder. But also, I enjoy that challenge. The challenge comes in just me being more authentic, just being true to myself. So it doesn't matter if people like me as I am or not, like, because I like myself. That's not something I would be able to say before. And so, yeah, it's okay if there are people out there giving everyone a bad name. Not that I like that, but that's just part of where we live. That's part of our duality. We have good and bad. Like, that's just what it is.
Wait, you mean you believe in duality? I'm kidding. I'm not
That's all fluff. I'm definitely not all fluff. I'm not. But I enjoy the fluffy side so much because I have been in the dark side for so long.
Yeah, as long as it's not all fluff.
Right.
I mean, sometimes you need some fluff.
Yeah. Fluff is great. Yeah, but sometimes the messages I ask to come out are messages of love and healing. But that does not mean that there's not hard messages that come out. Sometimes, it's like, you need to, nicer than this, but like, basically wake up, or this needs your attention. You need to look at this. This is causing your life to go this direction, or whatever it is. We all have family dynamics, and those don't change just because people on the other side, if anything, they're like amplified because all of your emotions get jumbled up in that too.
Yeah, the tapestry of it all.
Right.
Sorry, the eye roll thing wasn't mean, was it? You got what I was doing, right?
Yeah. You're good.
Okay, cool. I didn't want it to be rude.
No offense. It made me laugh.
What's the? Never mind. I'll ask you about that once we stop recording.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming on today and sharing your story, because I think that it's just really cool and really neat. If I could just break it down to something very simplistic, that you were able to take your grief and, no pun intended, channel it into something a little healthier. and I mean, dive into death a little bit more, but in a cool way where you can help people understand the meaning of life through that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's so cool.
Thank you. Yeah, that's actually one of the reasons why, I mean, I didn't know I was going to be a medium. That's not something I planned on ever, but I felt like, I was being led to be an end-of-life doula, which is what I studied to do because of the beauty that I think that there is in grief and in death and stuff. And so for me, it was like helping people heal before they go. So is there anything that you want to say before you go? Like, let's get this all out on the table kind of thing. And that you don't have to pass with pain, right? With emotional pain. And that also can help people that are still here feel like maybe they don't have to carry those hard feelings either. And to me, that just like continues down to each generation, right? It has the potential to do that. So that's the reason why I wanted to get into that. And then it's kind of a mix of, what I do now is mostly mediumship, but also there's some end of life stuff in there too, helping people pass and do it in a way that brings integrity and love and all of that good stuff.
Probably want to draw a hard line or distinction there because I don't know if you can bill after they've already gone.
Well, I know where to find them, so maybe.
Okay, well, look, you have a whole new business going on there. I mean, there's a whole other collections agency.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? That would be probably very lucrative if you could find a way to do a collections agency for the death or for the dead, because you can't go after them at that point. But, I'm sure the way our system is set up, if they could find a way to go after the dead, they would.
I'm sure.
Just come to Stacy.
I don't want to be that slimy person, that slimy medium.
Yeah.
That's not me.
Right. Look, if you decide to do that, I'll pay for your 1-800 number.
Oh my God. Could you imagine the calls, the messages that people would leave? Ooh, that would be...
This son of a bitch still owes me $75 from 1973.
Yeah. Yeah. Like this asshole like robbed my safe when I, or who knows what else. But
right.
Yeah. Or owes me coffee or, something like the stupidest thing that people hang on to sometimes.
It's like, sure, my services cost a little more than that cup of coffee. I don't give a shit. It's the principle that matters here. I'll stick it to them in the grave if I could. And now I can.
I really hope that we didn't just give somebody an idea to start trying to do something like that.
Well, if we did, then we'll sue their ass.
Oh my God.
That would be funny. No, I'm sorry. I would be very amused by that if someone actually started a business for that.
It would be amusing, but I'd be like, that's all Daniel. That's like,
me. I'm not the one who's setting this thing up. There's a lot of crazy ideas I come up with, but I don't follow through. Like, it's horrible.
That is horrible.
Jeez. I'm glad I'm giving off that impression that I'd be the one who would go forward with setting up the death collector or what.
No, you wouldn't set it up. You'd just be the one that gave the idea. So they could credit you for that. Can
you imagine that karma that I'd be carrying around from life to life for being the one to start that industry?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be something.
That'd be awful.
Yeah. Well, anyways, where can everyone reach you?
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at stacy.carlson.soul.speak.
Well, thank you so much again for coming on. This has been an interesting one, full of lots of good ideas and notions and thoughts.
Not so good ideas.
And not so good ones. But
yeah.
I just hope at the end of the day, got a little tongue roll there. I hope at the end of the day that the takeaway is something good can come from grief.
Yes. Yep. There's beauty. There's beauty in it.
So thank you so much for coming on, and yay.
Yay. Thank you.
Hey, it's Nestor. I just wanted to take this opportunity to tell my friends and family that I love you all so much. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the way that I left you. I'm safe. I'm happy. I'm at peace now. But it's so important to me that all of you guys know that you did not fail me. It wasn't because I didn't know that I was loved. And there is no explanation that's going to be satisfying. So I just want you to know that I can fully see now how loved and supported I was, and that I see how all of you continue to keep my memory alive, and the love that you have for me is still so strong. So thank you all. And I want to take a moment to tell my sisters, I love you both so, so much. I'm so proud of you. I'm sorry that I hurt you, but please know that you can connect to me. We are still connected. Our souls are still bonded together. And that you can every time you talk to me, I hear you, and you can continue to talk to me. And I will be there to support you. I love you. And remember, nothing will ever change how much I love you. And Daniel, I just want to say thanks for letting me use this platform to talk to my family and try to relieve some of the hurt that I caused. Hi, my name is Stacy, and I'm a spiritual medium and channeling artist. I allow spirit to work through me to create beautiful and unique paintings, along with messages that are always what you need to hear. You can choose to get a painting from your past loved ones, angels, your soul, your spirit team, your ancestors, Mother Earth, or God Source Universe. If you'd like your own painting, you can email me at stacy.carlson.soul.speak@gmail.com, or you can DM me on Instagram or TikTok at stacy.carlson.soul.speak. Thanks, sending love and gratitude.
Fellow time travelers, your journey through time awaits you. Just want to thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. And if you're interested in discovering who, when, and where you have been throughout time, and you'd like to book a session with me, just go ahead and send me a message on Instagram at The Past Life Regressionist, or you can reach me through my website, yourpastliferegressionist.com.